Welcome to episode 89 of Rebels Without a Pod. Tonight we're continuing our new-to-you neo-noir cycle with a long-promised and often threatened film, Park Chan-wook's Oldboy. We'll also be pitching and voting our next cycle of movies for the podcast. My name is John, and joining me tonight, Andy, who does our artwork and graphic design.
Good evening.
Naveen on music and audio production.
Hi.
Also a voice actor extraordinaire. And
Eli's
Eric,
his
Eric,
real
who
voice.
just emerged out of a large checker suitcase.
Hello, children.
So was that intro good? Did I forget anything?
Did you do the Dares Ask the Question? I think I missed that.
I did that. Hold on. Fuck. Naveen, do you have that letter I sent you?
Yeah.
Could you open it, please?
Sure.
Yeah. Just to read what's inside.
All right.
Add this for contingency.
I hope there's not anthrax in here.
Well.
I hope there's no visuals in there as well.
Gnome dick.
Yeah. I'm still kicking myself for not sending him a purple letter, but that might have been.
What's that big arrow pointing to what looks like a little stick figure of Naveen's mouth?
Uh-oh.
It says, put the words in there.
All right. Shall I read it?
Can we confirm real quick how long ago I sent you this letter? What circumstances arrived? What was written on the envelope?
What did I get? It was like 5 days ago. I got March 30th is when it was stamped.
Okay.
But I don't think I received it. I think it was like Thursday or something like that.
And what was written on the back?
Written on the back, aside the do not open until instructed. Please keep available near recording setup.
Yes. And could you read the contents of the letter out loud?
The back, as you can see, there's nothing there. Here's the front with just...
Wait, is this a letter from Star Tropics? I think you're supposed to soak it in water to get the code.
Is that what it is? All
You
right.
get the coordinates, my friend.
All right. Here's what it says. The show that dares ask the question, what if Johnny went extra meta for this opening?
All of our content is on the Rebels Without a Pod YouTube channel. Andy laughing, Eric just shaking his head.
You paid for a stamp for that?
It took me so long to find my stamps. I think I bought stamps in 2012. This is the second to last one I had.
I think we need to give him stuff to occupy his time better than this.
A job?
Maybe a book.
No, don't get a job.
No. The Rebels Without a Pod YouTube and Spotify channels. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We are primarily an audio show and currently trying to get established on Spotify. So we do ask any YouTube subscribers, if you have a Spotify account and it is at all convenient, maybe give us a listen there. However you come to us, though, please know we certainly do appreciate any kind of time and attention to our dumb little show, particularly as dumb as it's been tonight so far. 4 minutes in.
Yeah.
How are we on
We're
the
at
clock?
6 out of 10 right now, guys. I think we can do better.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of like how it usually is. It's self-inflicted.
Did anybody else get a letter?
Nope.
I have a single stamp left.
So what happens if one of them said it?
Yeah. Only time
Wait,
will
wait.
tell.
I got a letter from Andy. It says, just please stop.
Oh, I thought I was going to say diabetes.
Yeah.
Diabetes.
Get your insulin shot.
Mm.
How did you know I was going to be the one that was going to say it?
What was that?
How did you know I was going to be the one to bring it up that you didn't do the Dares Ask the Question? What happens?
Because I sent you the fucking letter. It's just, I know my friends. I know my friends.
Apparently you do.
Yeah.
I just want to say this too. Oldboy also had 2 bells used for a little hypnosis. All those times that John came up with a reason to jingle the bells. I'm just saying, at any point he could have hypnotized any of us.
He's got the time to learn how to do it.
Mm.
How many times have we done this before?
Dad?
Holy shit, Johnny's looping again.
Hey. What it fucking feels like. Programming notes.
I listened to that again, and it was just funny when Eric interrupted and like, John, you should introduce us as our characters.
And
you had such a hard time saying Alan. You're like, I'm Alan.
It's just reality.
It's the funniest thing.
His days of playing Dave Seville kicked in again.
Mhm.
Alan.
No, if we were actually the Chipmunks in the Veen 1000 group.
Did anybody else hear what he said?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
You cut out there, Johnny. We lost you.
What did you say? If anybody else is,
And
John, you're looping
Dave
again.
Seville-
yeah, you're cutting in and out pretty badly now, Johnny.
Oh God, is this Arlington, Johnny?
Naveen, leave this all in.
Testing. Testing.
Can hear you.
Heard the testing.
Dude. So, fun movie, huh?
Yeah.
That was great.
Absolutely nothing weird at all happens in it.
Yeah.
No, it's totally wacky.
Everybody, my audio's back. Thumbs up.
How many fingers am I holding up?
Not great.
Not great.
I'm not holding any fingers up, silly.
How meta can it get? I'm just going to keep pushing through.
There we
Programming
go.
notes.
Now we can hear you.
Now you can hear me. Programming notes. Next week, Andy, as the winner of our 2026 Oscar pool, will be doing an episode takeover to cover whatever topic he'd like. And I believe that we've settled on a movie. You want to announce it here on mic?
Sure. So I guess I'm going to preface it by saying I had a whole other thing picked out and I hadn't started planning for it yet, but I had this whole other thing picked out that I actually did zero research on. I proposed it to the guys. The guys were, I'm going to say, unenthusiastic is probably the right word for it.
Skeptical.
Sure, that's another word for it. So I pivoted, and I've now decided that we are going to watch the John Carpenter film, They Live.
Sorry, Naveen.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry you're missing out on this one.
It's par for the course, right? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, They Live.
Ooh, I mean,
Rowdy
you guys
Roddy
got
Piper,
Chinatown
Keith
in without me.
Yeah.
And that's like Chinatown. Did it top 100 views at this point?
It's close, I think.
It's up there. I was
did
shocked as punch.
Invasion
How
USA
quickly
without
that-
you, and you seem to have loved that one.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, the listeners know what they want. They're like, take a break, Eric.
Take a break. Yeah. Eric's kind of like the cilantro of the group. It's like a little bit closer.
You know, I haven't heard that before used on myself, but I think that's. I'll take it.
Chinatown is at 91 views according to my app. Sometimes your app is different.
We can do better than that.
You think that?
We're not yet.
So the week after that, we're concluding the new to you Neo-Noir cycle with my pick, 1980 British gangster classic, The Long Good Friday. As of record, I believe it's still streaming on HBO Max, so anyone who would like to watch along has that option. I think that's kind of good for the intro. That's good for the banter. Let's kind of get right into this movie. I want to start like a little bit different. I want to start like a little bit weird tonight. I haven't talked to you guys about this yet. This won't kind of make sense at first. I promise it swings back around, but I'm going to start. Eugene Merman's 2006 stand-up comedy album, On Guard Society. I'm going to do the first track on that album as best I can off the top of my head. So
Eugene Merman, who was just in a pretty bad accident.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to one of the legitimate greats. Everything I said about Chuck Norris the other week was insincere, but he's hoping just like the speediest recovery for that guy.
Yeah.
Like just an amazing comedian, super important. A Massachusetts local, a Western Mass local, fucking went to Hampshire College to major in stand-up comedy.
I remember I met him.
Yeah.
You saw him, I met him.
Yeah.
And I made it as weird as possible.
The first night Eric and I ever saw him performed was at the Comedians of Comedy tour, which was originally Patton Oswalt, Maria Bamford, Brian Posehn, and on the original lineup was Zach Galifianakis. Galifianakis dropped out of the tour. Eugene Merman, I think we saw his first or second night touring. Yep. This is like a week after Play of the Concord started, and it was also 2007 and the Red Sox World Series playoffs. So the only people at the show that night were just fucking deep cut comedy nerds who just only.
This was at the Sinclair in Harvard Square, I believe.
It was we saw it later. That original one was the Roxy, which I don't even.
Was that the Roxy? Okay.
Yeah. And Stans is not one of just like the best stand-up comedy shows I've ever seen, but one of the first times I was ever like had a moment of like, oh, the crowd is like, oh, there are other maniacs like Eric and myself out there. It was such a fun night. Really was.
Just cool. To cut to it quickly, what happened is John, we were at the bar. I was going to order drinks. John's like, he just dipped out to go to the bathroom. He's like, I'll be back. Just order something for me. I'm standing there. As I'm standing there, John walks away, and through the crowd, I see Eugene Merman walking towards me. And I did not know what to expect from him, but he's a pretty tall dude.
Right.
I want to say he's like 6'3", 6'4". And he's hulking towards me, like straight towards me. I'm assuming it's me. He's clearly coming to get a drink at the bar, but he's just coming at me. And I'm like, a million thoughts go through my head. And I'm like, this is a comedian. Say something funny, impress him. What do I do? What do I do? And he shows up and he's standing in front of me. And he's like, I'm clearly blocking his path unintentionally. And he's just like, hi. And I'm like, hi. I just want you to know that I love you. And he goes, okay. Do you know we have a what was it, a lamb? Like a baby sheep out in the parking lot that you can pet. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, can I get a hug? He's like, okay. And then I hug him, and then he just leaves. He's like, I'm gonna go find that sheep. Don't meet your heroes.
Right. Don't meet your heroes.
Good advice.
So shout out for just terrible fucking thing. I mean, literally his the governor of New Hampshire and her entourage pulled him out of like a burning EV. Like the story was just completely fucking bonkers.
It was like a toll booth or something.
Something like the Bedford toll booth in Southern New Hampshire. Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. So this is a little from like a couple of like Nobody fans and one guy that hugged you. This is our show's little homage. So On Guard Society, first track. You ever drink too much and just say something really random and crazy and just out of nowhere to Ace Frehley? So this is what happened. My buddies and I, you know, we're out in the city. We're kind of going along. We're drinking. We're kind of going to different nightclubs, and kind of towards the end of the night, we get to this one club, and my friends and I are going in, and who's leaving the club but fucking Ace Frehley, a Kiss. I just recognize, just this lifelong Kiss fan, recognize him right away. And here's the thing, like he's super drunk, and there's this young woman who's kind of just he's got like his arm around her, and she's kind of leading him out. And I at first figured this is some groupie or girlfriend, but I get closer and I realize like the young woman looks exactly like Ace Frehley does. I'm like, oh, this must be like his adult kid or something like that. But it was so strange to see that, and he's kind of holding her, and he's leaning on her, like leaning up against her in kind of like some way, and I don't know why this popped in my head, but as we pass each other, and I go, hey, Ace, and he looks up, and we make really strong, solid eye contact there, and I go, don't fuck your daughter. Hey, Ace, don't. Oldboy is a 2003 South Korean noir thriller film, directed and co-written by Chan Wook. I'm going to hold synopsis in brief until the end of the review. I think for just the for just kind of like the flow and sanity's sake of this conversation. The film stars Choi Min-sik, Yoo Ji-tae, Kang Hee-jung. Apologies in the head for all the Korean pronunciations we'll have probably over the course of this episode, and is a loose adaptation of the Japanese manga Oldboy by Tsuchiya and Minegishi. The second film of Park's Vengeance trilogy, Oldboy released to worldwide acclaim, including winning the Grand Prix at the 2004 Cannes Film Festival. It became a Western home video hit under the Tartan Asian Extreme imprint, along with others like Battle Royale and Itchy the Killer. A lot of really excited nodding from Eric right there. Oldboy is now considered a highly influential cult classic and is included on many best-of lists for both 21st century and modern Korean cinema. Who wants to guess how many stars from Raj?
He loved this
5.
movie.
Yeah, he loved it. It was 4 and a half.
I'll say 3.
4 stars from Roger Ebert.
There it is.
And he just did the fucking get out of here. Get out of here. 4 stars from Raj, who writes,
Little scamp.
in its sexuality and violence. This is the kind of movie that can no longer easily be made in the United States. The standards of a puritanical minority imposed on broadcasting and threatened even for cable make studios unwilling to produce films that might face uncertain distribution. But content does not make a movie good or bad. It is merely what it is about. Oldboy is a powerful film, not because of what it depicts, but because of the depths of the human heart which it strips bare. Oldboy currently holds an 82% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, with some critics certainly more measured in their praise. Manohla Dargis of the New York Times called the film, quote, symptomatic of a bankrupt, reductive postmodernism, while Sean Axmaker of the Seattle Post-Intelligencer felt the questions raised are, quote, lost in the battering assault of a lovingly crafted brutality. Now, this is a film that we've been talking about covering for like a very long time. Usually, this was Andy's pick for the new TU Neo-Noir cycle. We usually kind of start with the host. When we do general impressions, the host who picked the film itself is usually the one to start this conversation. But I would actually, for this one, like to hold Andy's thoughts for the end, so we can kind of like all put our cards out first, and then Andy can kind of have like the final word. Instead, I would like to start with the fucking maniac who's been recommending we watch this film since about episode 4. Papa, how was your revisit of Park Chan-wook's Oldboy?
Hey, what can I say? I just leave it at that.
You could apologize.
Mike, I don't apologize. Mic drop. This movie, like I've been telling Andy this whole time, is an experience. This is something that you tell your friends to watch, but you don't give away too much of the plot or what it's about. It's just something they have to watch to experience it. And it makes it the best comparison I can think of is like the VHS tape for The Ring.
Sure.
You have to watch it to experience it. You die like 5 days later, but hey. But this movie is the one that got me into Korean cinema. I was big in, this is early 2000s. At the time, I was really into just catching up on Japanese films and didn't know anything about Korean cinema at all. Heard about this, had to see it, watched it, blew my fucking mind away. I had to see the rest of the films from the director, which again, a lot of good stuff. As we've seen The Handmaiden, it's always about vengeance or revenge. It's always a little sexy, a lot of violence, and it's one of those his films too. It's one watch is not enough because there's so much being thrown at you, and there's so much you can take away from it that you have to watch it again and again to kind of peel back all the layers and find out what it's truly about. What?
You were just talking about watching it over and over again, and Andy's face is like,
you're like,
not
skip
gonna
10 minutes here.
Nope, not gonna happen.
Hold on, I got to write another letter real quick.
We should have wore grills to this. The best part about this movie too is it wastes no fucking time. You learn immediately in the first 5 minutes how much of a loser Daisu is. And then it's like, poof, he's gone. What happened to him? And then it's straight into just 15 years of being stuck in a room.
He's drunk, he's with his friend, and then you almost immediately get to his face coming out of a doggy door going, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
It's been 2 whole months.
And then after that, it's just like a whirlwind of chaos. Crazy batshit characters. Insane free-for-alls, usually involving a hammer or occasionally a toothbrush. A story that ends incomplete in utter madness. This movie's a classic.
Well, very well said. Naveen, real quick, had you seen this before, and what was your general impression?
No, this was my first time watching it. So all I've got is a few words here of like confusing, provocative, different, dark, intriguing, Lannisters. So I mean, Eric really just put it beautifully and well said. It's like so many different things. I liked how the way it started, and then you get to this backstory, and then it brings you back to that point where it started, where he's on the rooftop, and then it brings you back there. But then there's still this much more story to go. And this is one of those movies, again, we always talk about that sweet spot of 90 minutes, but this is one of those movies that's not 90 minutes, but yet it still kind of kept you moving, even though it was on the longer side. There are some parts that, kind of slow and maybe slowed it down a little bit, but overall there was just so much going on. And probably, as Eric mentioned it again, that I probably missed a lot of stuff just on this first watch, that I would have to probably watch it again to really not be so confused as it's going through. And, as I mentioned in other noir films, I think definitely with Chinatown, there's a lot of story. There's a lot of plot happening. A lot of story, a lot of plot, but I always like to try to, figure it out as it goes along. And this one just, kept me guessing as to what was going on, why it was going on, and how it was going on.
Right.
I'll be honest. I paused it at the scene when it shows, what's her name? Mito on the train. And she looks over at the giant CGI ant. I had to pause it for a second. I'm like, what's this really saying here? I still have no idea.
No, yeah, no clue.
For me, this is the first time I've revisited this film since kind of watching it back in my 20s. I'm trying to remember whether this was a watch with Eric or just like a very strong kind of recommend for him. I'd be similar to Eric. This one just completely just blew my mind back in the day. This is the first time I've watched it since I was fortunate enough to spend a few years working in East Asia, during my time working in Tokyo. Met a few people living in Korea, and actually sort of got to know really well a coworker who actually grew up in South Korea, and I heard a lot about kind of his his education, his upbringing, his time in the Korean military, and his just getting into becoming a software engineer. He was my coworker, shout out Young Young. I don't think he'd mind me talking about this, but what 1 year was the #1 ranked soldier in all of South Korea. And after he finished his service, he had the option to kind of go into any field he wanted. He's like, I want to be a computer programmer, I want to be a computer scientist. I bring this up because I think that there is a really important element of Korean culture that you have to understand when you talk about this movie, and that is despite it being a first world country, OECD ranked, just wealthy, pretty good standard of living, it's a country with a really terrible, really just massive crisis in terms of mental and emotional health. You look at the statistics, Korea is ranked not only #1 in OECD developed countries, but also #1 among Asian nations for per capita suicide rates. It's a very tragic element of just kind of their culture and kind of what they deal with. And this is a thing that's kind of reflected very strongly here, like in the film. Another important element, I think, that I think kind of deepened my appreciation on like this rewatch is you look at the source material, which was a Japanese manga. The tormenting of Odesu by Lee Woo-jin in the original manga is just The only thing was based on the Odaisu was a bully to this kid when he was in 6th grade. There was none of the subplots, none of the truly kind of crazy details that we sort of come to there. The idea of everything that all the maybe the kind of the provocative and the difficult and controversial stuff about this movie was Park Chan Wook's idea. He was looking at the story and he said it didn't make a lot of sense to him why the villain would go to these lengths to torture somebody just because they had bullied them in 6th grade. So he thought to himself, what's the worst thing this guy could have done to them? What's the worst shame? What's the worst sin? And he landed on Greek tragedy, and then he went from Greek tragedy to a thing that is very, I think, kind of sadly recognizable to, I think, like a lot of to any of the Korean audience watching this, which is somebody in high school started a rumor that basically just destroyed a young person's life. Coming to that, this film, it just anything that maybe in my 40s I would be less impressed by, that in terms of just the fact it's extreme, the fact it's provocative, the fact it's controversial, anything that I maybe respond to like a little bit less in my 40s compared to like my 20s, I think was really just rebalanced by just having that just personally a broader perspective on the world. I don't quite think that this is a perfect one compared to, I would say, Thirst and Handmaiden are, I think, Park's 2 5 out of 5s, but this one is like easily like 4.5 for me. So this was a pleasure to go back to.
I wanted to ask you, after watching this film, imagine writing the script for this film.
Yeah. A thing I kept coming back to is this the movie that Park really wanted to make him famous? Like looking at his entire, because I mean he's known and accomplished.
So many big swings.
Yeah.
And to have them all and to have everything kind of fit together and to make sense. But also it's not like one big thing that happens. There's several things that happen. And you're like, can I get away with this? But if you have that vision and you have the money to back you, it's like, how can you take this and make this and ultimately into something that people will be able to appreciate?
Yeah.
Unlike Andy.
Well, let's kind of get to the man of the hour for this. This is Andy is, for the listeners, a better human being fundamentally than Eric, Naveen, and myself really are. We, like the three of us, I think, have just a bit more taste for like the dark and like the weird.
He's testing you, by the way.
Andy, for
don't kill anybody out.
Like the real evil shit that we've watched on the show, it's not quite Andy's cup of tea, but he has come to all of it, I think, with just a very, for him, just kind of ingrained level of sort of just patience and good humor with it. So this is the one we've been saying for like a long time. If Andy has to watch this, podcast is basically going to fall apart. Buddy, where'd you land on Park Chan Wook's Oldboy?
Is it a Taco Tuesday?
I wrote down a single word.
Okay.
Oh.
And actually, it's more of a, I
like
guess,
a moan?
I wrote down the word oof.
Oof.
Oh.
Oof.
Oof.
Andy's box lunch, 2.5 stars.
2.5 stars.
I'll take it.
Mike, you have any more general impression stuff you want to say, or do you want to just leave it at that?
I'm going to leave it at that because I have some things I would like to mention later.
Okay.
That I think will do the trick.
I just have to say something. I would love to be a fly on the wall when you're watching like the scene with Daisu and Mito having sex and you're like, okay, all right. It's a little tasty. I'll take that. And then to learn everything afterwards and then all that shame that you felt after enjoying any of that at all. Just
for the listeners, Naveen,
torn away from you.
Naveen is beet red with laughter. Andy,
I do have a little story about that I will
talk
about.
Please
later.
tell me you watched the movie alone.
I
Don't make this
absolutely
any
watched
weirder
the
than
movie
it
alone,
already
and
is.
thank God, because I almost invited my wife to watch it with me,
Okay.
and then didn't.
It was that or
And thank
Hoppers.
God.
You were either going to see this one or Hoppers.
I'm so glad that I didn't invite anybody to watch
Honey,
this
I'm
one
not
with
sure how
me.
you feel about it, but there's some beavers in this one.
There we go.
Yeah.
Just not hundreds.
Yeah.
Thank God.
2 years Eric has been waiting for this.
Friends let friends watch Oldboy.
Right. He would have waited 15 and still been delighted.
Well, you know what? I did pick this one, to be fair.
Uh-huh.
So I have nobody to blame but myself.
Well,
Oof.
and society
Well, yeah.
and Korea. And mostly Eric, because you probably just 2 years of that would just kind of grind anybody down.
Well, I just
you
knew
know
that
what?
you were going to watch it eventually, and I just figured,
Yes.
fuck
Right.
it.
These are the things that keep me going. Now I
Keep
can
going.
back
I'm
these
almost
fools.
done.
For the listeners,
Yeah.
Eric is covering his mouth with a purple handkerchief and laughing uncontrollably into it.
Here you go. You can push the button. You can
Mhm.
turn my heart off. I'm done.
Right. And now he's going into his middle of your fucking apartment shower, showing off some tight little buns. Let's get
I
into
still don't understand the reasoning behind that little tattoo above his ass crack. Like, really? Was that already there or was it added
He is
afterwards?
so happy right now. He is so happy right
I was like, what is that? Is that a club or a spade? I can't
now.
tell.
I think it's supposed to be the sword of Damocles.
Yeah, the blade of the sword goes right down the cheeks.
Talking points. Does Daisu deserve what happens to him? And should the mistakes you make as a teenager, even relatively oblivious ones, follow you into adulthood? Andy, let's start with you on this.
Okay, so does he deserve what happens to him? I'm going to say no, not really, but also isn't that kind of the whole point of the movie? Like ultimately it's cruel and it's dark and it's mean. But like, you know, what he did as a teenager was sort of like, you know, it was kind of careless. It was just another stupid teen thing that stupid teens do. You know, they tell a story about something and it kind of
saw some shit that they shouldn't have, and I can't wait to tell my buddies about this.
Yeah. And then that thing kind of grows legs and takes off and goes and has its own life. I mean, you know, but that being said, he didn't do it in a malicious way. You know, like the punishment is, in my opinion, insanely disproportionate to, you know, to the crime. But, you know, I mean, like I said, ultimately that's kind of the point. The movie's asking, you know, how long should someone have to pay for something they did that they barely understood at that time? And you know, as far as Woo Jin is concerned, it's forever. He should have to deal with that forever. You know, turning that into like this lifelong, like sadistic revenge story just feels cruel and not justified to me anyway. It shows kind of how dangerous it can be to like not ever let somebody move on from their worst moment. It's like, imagine your worst moment and then having to, you know, be reminded of it and live it for the rest of your life.
Sure.
That's fucking harsh.
And now here's an immediate and obvious follow-up question that Odaisu is portrayed to be a real asshole over the course of the movie, because not in terms of what he did to Woo Jin, but what he did to just about everybody else in his life. Kind of one of the funniest things in the movie is when he first gets the call from Woo Jin on the cell phone, he's trying to figure out who it is, and he rattles off like 12 names of people who might legitimately have wanted to do that to him. Does that change the thinking? Does that change the calculus of it at all?
I mean, again, I would say no, because I think the punishment, I mean, it's like the worst. I can't think of anything that would be more just soul destroying, life ending, you know, than what he had, like, than sleeping with your own daughter yeah, I don't know, that to me, that's about as bad as it gets. Like I can't think of anything worse that you could do to a person.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this. I want to add to this. I think Daisu too. His rumor was that it was a little extreme too. Like you knew those kind of people in high school, like the assholes that would sit there and make up shit about people, make them feel bad, and then
Yes.
they would grow up and still be those assholes. Like you never. That's the thing. It's like I remember bullies from when I was in high school. I never got contacted by one of them apologizing for any shit they did. No matter how bad it was. And that's the weird thing. They live with it and they get on, like they move on. I think that's the thing though. I think we all make mistakes and we learn from them. Like we have to experience them to learn from them, to realize, and some people learn from them, some people don't. Daisu clearly didn't. So maybe he deserved this. I don't know. But he also said he also didn't just leave it at like I saw him banging his sister. He's like, I saw Lee Woo Jin like bang his sister and knock her up. Like that's like it's like the next level.
But that's what the rumor turned into ultimately, as it kind of spread to like the rest of the people, because he just saw, yeah, I saw, because it started with him talking to his best friend the day before he moved to Seoul. He said, I you know, there's this one kind of conservative girl. I saw her with that dorky guy from the camera club. He identified the two of them, but he didn't actually even know that they were brother and sister.
Yeah.
His best friend was the one that sort of kind of brought that to the rest of high school, and that's how everything kind of spread because of it.
Yeah, because that's later on. He had no clue kind of what was going on. That's why he pretty much repressed it or didn't. It was nothing to him. I mean, he was a genuine asshole.
I look back on, you know, I had my fair share of bullies and, you know, in hindsight, probably did my own fair share of bullying myself. There's never been a time when I look back on the kids that bullied me and thought to myself, I would like to absolutely ruin their lives. Like, would I like to see them, you know, get flipped by a bus? Sure, great. But, you know, I want them to heal from that. I don't want
I hope that in their 40s they don't vote. Absolutely.
Sure, yes. You know, like, do I want to see one of those guys get punched in the jaw for talking too much shit to somebody? Sure. But like, I don't want to see their lives be destroyed. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But
I was trying to think about from the other side too. I'm like, I mean, it's all extremes, right? These are whatever they call these series of films. Right. It definitely goes to extremes for this one. Think about it this way, from Lee Woo Jin's point of view. I mean, what we think about the first time we fall in love, for example, right? You never forget your first love. This was the first time he fell in love with somebody, first time he had sex with somebody. You're never going to forget that. And so early on into that relationship, you have, you know, your love that who knows how long he's been in love with his sister for, taken away from you. She pretty much, you know, she does get pregnant, which you're like, oh my God, this woman I'm in love with, she's pregnant. We have to keep the baby. You know, it's weird and desperate, and it's so early on in life, but at the same time, you're like, I have to accept this, and we have to keep the baby, and we'll make this work. And then she's like, I can't live with this, and she kills herself.
And again, this also I think kind of comes to like these again, you know, where we, you know, none of us have any kind of heritage or kind of real way to kind of speak to this with any kind of detail or authenticity. But you know, just when you read about sort of the, you know, this mental and emotional health crisis that Korea has, this just horrifically like high suicide rate. A lot of it is just kind of based on these factors of hierarchy, of shame, of very, very strict kind of social conservatism, and you know, in particularly when you look at like the way these statistics break down, it is one of these things that this just as it often does, very tragically, it disproportionately impacts young people in their teens and 20s.
And that's what I'm saying. At that point, when his sister died, he died.
Yeah. And
he was just the ghost that was just floating around, couldn't kill himself. And then he kind of went out in his own way by exacting revenge before he went.
His heart was literally broken by her death. I mean, that's one way to read the like the pacemaker scar as a symbol for something.
I mean, to look at another angle. He could just gone right down there, fished it out of the water, said, little wet, still good, still good.
Oh my
Then
God.
give her a little flapjack slap on the tummy, say, all right, you little scamp, let's go.
Can't make friends with salad.
I should send you this Avenged Sevenfold song, Eric. You might like it.
Now the most random thing that's been said tonight. And that's actually kind of like a good segue. But the film examines the Korean concepts of external shame. It's called cheom-myeon. In Japanese, uchi soto, I think is something like the maybe the close, like a close translation, but saving face. Shame's external in Korea, like just always talk about saving face or your failure to preserve your reputation, things on you that are obvious, that are public, that are imposed on you by society, versus the concept of internal guilt or joeuisig, which is a secretive sin, a monster that kind of can gnaw you, that can devour you, can kind of get at your insides, but also can be sort of potentially repressed or forgotten. External shame, internal guilt. Devine, how are these kind of things, let's start with you, how are these kind of things represented in the film?
I mean, there was definitely a lot of it. You have, obviously, with the sister-brother situation, and that rumor getting out, there's a lot of that external shame, societal shame. And correct me if I'm wrong, because you guys are more into the Japanese culture. So that East Asian culture seems pretty harsh when it comes to those kinds of things. With societal
Thailand
shame.
has versions of this. China has versions of this. I mean, this is it sort of kind of comes from ultimately kind of Confucian or Neo-Confucian philosophy, but it's a big part of the social structure out there.
Right. So once that rumor is getting around that, she's knocked up, it was her brother and whatever, there's that huge external shame, obviously, from that side. And then you got Ju-in, who's got the internal, because now he lost his love, and he's also got that external shame, but that internal shame of losing him and knowing that, which obviously didn't get repressed, but gnawed at him enough that he had to spend he
dedicated his entire life to kind of getting his lick back at this guy.
Yeah, a good 20 years, obviously, longer than the 15 years he kept him captive, just to plan it and get it going. And then you got Daisu, who maybe had some internal guilt with it, probably not with spreading the rumor, but it got repressed enough that he's just like,
all the bad shit that he did. He thought this has to be 100 other people that are mad at me right now. It wasn't even like a thing that he remembered.
You notice how he's a drunk, and he doesn't know what he's doing half the time. I'm like, he's probably so much guilt for so much shit that he's done that he doesn't remember most of it at this point.
Yeah.
But I think what's really interesting about what this film kind of represents is the difference of consequences. Oh Dai-soo, the film literally starts with him in the police station, fucking hammered, losing his mind, insulting the police, trying to take a piss in the station, just looking like he wants to kind of start a fight with like a bunch of younger guys kind of sit next to him, just doing everything, probably on the way back, we're getting drunk and probably banging some other guy's wife or something else like that. But this is a dude who never really kind of faced any kind of consequences at all. Lee Soo-ah, the sister, some guy starts this rumor about her in high school, and what's interesting to me is it was a rumor that was based in reality, but there is very easily a version of the story where it's just something somebody made up and just kind of followed her to her grave. Shame versus guilt. Other thoughts here?
For shame. Did we mention the guilt that Dai-soo felt after he learned what happened with his daughter, and just how that ate him alive? And
because he was literally Woo Jin navigating this entire thing to kind of put that same shame, that same mark.
We're going to get into it, but I mean, yeah, just he has to forget. It's like eating him up inside, that he has to have somebody hypnotize him in order to forget about it.
Right.
Just because it's like part of him that he can't escape. Like living with that secret.
Yeah. And the other side of it is just, him cutting his tongue off so he can't speak of it either. Or speak of it or hurt anybody else, I guess, with the words he says.
This may be better for Bigos, but why don't we kind of get into like a little bit of it right now? Like my fiance, actually, I just found out recently, is a very, very big fan of this movie. Had like a ton of thoughts.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Don't say it.
Don't say it. I
What am I
don't
not
want to
supposed to
know.
say?
You're guilty, aren't you?
Uchi Soto? Here's the thing.
No, I was gonna say you're like, so on my my mother's side, when we had that Asian exchange student when you were younger, there's something there.
Eric is writing the fan fiction now as we speak. Here's the thing. This movie is there's element, obviously in I always knew in a vague way this is connected to like the Greek myth of Oedipus, and like especially the play version of Oedipus Rex. But I told Naoko that we're covering this on the podcast, and she sent me about like a dozen different ways in the movie that it explicitly connects to like Greek mythology. Apparently, like I was fascinated by this. Ode-su, if you kind of look at like the transliteration of how Greek words get pronounced in Korean, Oedipus and Ode-su, it's almost like saying kind of just Willie and Billy kind of thing. Like they're in that language, they're virtually like identical words. Other things, Lee Woo-jin is the Sphinx. She's like, he's the Sphinx. He's the Sphinx in the original myth. Kills himself after Oedipus solves the riddle. Same thing with like Lee Woo-jin. He, like the big riddle being like, not why did I imprison you? Why did I let you out? Ode-su sort of finally puts everything together. Yeah, then he just kind of pops himself in his head in the elevator. The Sphinx also very, very famously for having, just like a lion and a man's face and a pair of wings on its back. That's actually what the angel wings that Mito gets as a gift at the end of the movie. That's what it's supposed to represent. It's not angel wings, it's the wings of the Sphinx. And then finally, Ode-su, in the original Oedipus play, he punishes himself for just like the sins he's committed by kind of tearing his eyes out. Ode-su, basically similar thing with that, because because of his loose lips, his devil tongue, he cuts his tongue out, mutilates himself in the same kind of way.
What about Odal-su, the guy who had his teeth ripped out and his hand cut off?
I don't know who he is in the play. Maybe he's
is Odal-su. Is the pronunciation in English is Dalsum. he with stretchy features, who breathes fire. You know how Odaisu was just like imprisoned, and he was just kept constantly challenging him to these like street fights.
Right.
He doesn't know where the elephants came from, but local zoo.
Fun thing about the versions of this they do in Korea, like in Korea of the original Greek play, Oedipus just always fights with a hammer. Any other myth stuff? Next topic.
No, I was writing the soundtrack in my head though when I was watching this film, and I'm like, hammer time! Whoa!
The hallway fight definitely for Vigo's toast. There's so much stuff there. But next talking point, is the ending tragic or is the ending merciful ultimately? What is Park trying to say with the fates of the three main characters, either like in a mythological sense or a literal sense? And Andy, let's start with you there.
So it's kind of both. And I think that's kind of why it sticks with you. So Ode-su choosing to forget is maybe merciful, but also pretty tragic. He gets peace. Well, maybe he gets peace. I guess there's some little question at the end about that.
There's quite a lot of ambiguity on like how this movie actually.
Yeah. So maybe he gets peace, but it's sort of based on a lie. So Woo-jin gets his revenge and then immediately, kills himself. So it makes the whole thing kind of feel empty. Like the revenge didn't actually fix anything ultimately. And then once he got the revenge, he had nothing left to live for. His whole life led up to that moment, and then he was like, "Okay, I got nothing left. I'm done." Mito.
What if he'd actually beaten Ernie McCracken?
Exactly. Mito is sort of like, I think, the real victim of the story. She's manipulated the whole time and never really gets a choice and doesn't ever really even know that she was being manipulated. So I think, overall, I think Oldboy kind of feels like it's saying that revenge doesn't necessarily heal anything or accomplish anything. It just spreads the damage around a bit. The only escape anyone gets is either, death or not knowing the truth, which is not particularly comforting ultimately. Although, and I don't think the movie was meant to be comforting. I think it was meant to be the exact opposite of that.
Right.
So mission accomplished in that one. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's some combination of mercy and tragedy.
Naveen, tragic or merciful, the ending?
Tragic. Yeah, I think it was tragic. Basically, pretty much all the things that Andy said. I mean, you've got Mido, who was, had this bad conception of her father, like with the kid. What's that? What I miss?
Mido had this bad conception of her father. Interesting. Go on.
Well, because she didn't,
Don't explain it any further, please.
She's like, I bet he's bad at sex.
Are we not doing phrasing anymore?
Yeah.
Andy looks like he's constipated. You were saying, my friend.
Well, just the fact that he wasn't around much, but then the added thing of Daisu being blamed for the murder of her mom.
Yeah.
And then actually meeting the father, but not knowing it's the father, and all the other stuff ensuing. So obviously, that's pretty tragic. Tragic in the sense of what it did to Juin, because of just that one little rumor, that one little thing that happened that just tortured the rest of his life, and he had nothing to live for, as Andy had mentioned. And then, of course, Daisu, just being a bully, and then realizing the errors of his ways, but then getting into the situation that he couldn't, can't really get out of it one way or another. Whether he hypnotized himself to forget it, there's always definitely that scar of, cutting his tongue out.
There's going to be levels of him that know, and he's going to be just for whatever else his life is, he's going to be a broken human being.
Right.
Papa, tragic or merciful ending? Or do you just think, or just love Kirk conquers all? I feel like that's what you're taking.
All you need is love. I thought about this way, right? I think in reality, all three characters got the best ending they could have in this situation. And the reason I say this is when Daisu started that rumor way back when, I feel like he gave it is kind of like a domino effect that ended up giving them all purpose.
Right.
Meaning, I don't think Lee Woo-jin could have lived a happy. I think he knew what was going to happen. She was. It just if
that was going to go bad one way or another.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Go to a Korean Catholic school.
Yeah, there's no way you're
like a big Park theme, like in a lot of his other movies as well. Like that was. There was no happy ending there.
Yeah, it was going to be tragic no matter what. But when his sister killed herself, it pretty much gave Woo-jin purpose. He's just like, okay, this is what I need to live for. And then Daisu, same thing. He was given purpose when Woo-jin went and kidnapped him and stuck him in a room for 15 years. He was on his way. He was going to drink himself into an early grave or something like that. Get hit by a car. Who knows?
Get murdered by like a jilted husband or something else is going to go bad.
And then Mido, she the big emphasis on her. She had no friends, no parents. She was in the city. This is a common thing you'll see in big cities, especially in like Tokyo or Shanghai or something. A lot of just women that or men and women that just can't connect, even though you're surrounded by millions of people.
Right. I do. You brought this up earlier, but let me kind of throw out my theory there. At the beginning of the film, when Daisu, I mean, he's been locked up for so long, he doesn't see anybody. He starts getting kind of these kind of traumatic hallucinations of kind of ants kind of crawling on his skin. The scene later of Mido just kind of sitting by herself alone in a subway, looking up and sort of seeing a giant ant there. I think those things are analogous. Those are one of the same.
She does say she's just like, you know, I think she says something like it's said that if you see ants or they're associated with loneliness.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. And she's like, no matter how lonely it was, I never saw the ants. But it's funny that she's saying that because I think he's thinking in his head he was lonely, but he was also delusional and being drugged. So that's why he was probably having these weird like acid trips where he's seeing ants.
But again, you know, this
like,
I think this sort of speaks to this mental health crisis we talked about in, you know, just you know, just it exists to extremes in Korea, but you and I both lived in Tokyo. You know, there are people that, you know, just the isolation that you can kind of feel in that city.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see any good path for her in life. She's probably going to be lonely or unhappy the rest of her life. She'll probably get stressed out from work, and who knows, she might just kill herself.
Yeah.
So I feel like the ending, while it's not ideal, you know, it kind of gave them all some kind of closure. They were given purpose throughout the movie. They were given closure. I don't know if it's the best one, but I think in terms of Woo Jin, just coming back to him, because you're like, well, he got shafted. He's got a really shit deal there. But I'm like, the joy he must have felt that he redeemed, like, or like honored his sister death. Like,
he for good or bad, he saw it all the way to the end.
Yeah. He's like, I finally, you know, got Daisu for her, and I got revenge, and now I can die peacefully knowing that she's been avenged.
Right. Any other kind of general sort of thoughts about Oldboy before we get on to trivia and Vigo's toes?
This is where I would like to come in.
Sure.
So I have two things to mention.
Well, put your pants on. Well, what's going on? Hold on.
One is more broad. The other one is more specific. So the first one is this cycle has had way more incest than I was expecting. I don't know how.
Two is not a lot, but it's still more than one.
We've had 3 incest.
A2 Brutus?
3 incest, because it also happened in Chinatown.
So wait, what's the third one then?
Well,
twice in the one movie?
Yeah, 2 in this movie.
Oh, okay. So you're not counting movies.
You're doubling down for this one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say 1 incest is too many incest for a movie. 2 is twice that many. So
this is a double negative, right? They cancel each other out.
No, you refer to it just as twincest when there's like 2 and like
incest. Right. Okay. Naveen, earmuffs.
Oh no, he's here for this.
The second thing I'd like to mention, and I know that, you know, we'll talk about this in Vigo's as well, but like that poor octopus, actually those poor octopuses.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Octopuses, octopi, octopods.
It's all 3 of those things, according to.
I just call it lunch.
Yeah, all 3 of those are correct. But like, okay, so I don't know if this was like something that Park Chan Wook included intentionally to distract. If the octopus scene was included to distract from the hint he had dropped immediately before that about Mito kind of recognizing Dae-soo.
Yeah.
Or if there was some deeper meaning, but regardless, it was fucked up. I will say, I clocked that there was when he dropped that sort of hint that she recognized him.
Just like, yeah, this guy has not been outside in 15 years.
Immediately in my head, I went, "Oh shit, is she his daughter?" And then I immediately forgot, because I watched him eat a live octopus, and then fast forward to
this is
reveal.
The genius of this motherfucker.
Oh, I know. So fast forward to the actual reveal at the end, and I was like, "Oh shit, I had totally guessed that," and then completely forgot about it because I watched a guy eat a live octopus. And PETA must have absolutely lost their shit when this film came out.
Korean animal rights stuff does not quite exist in the.
You can find this on a menu in Japan, or in Korea as well. You can get octopus still moving.
My second visit to Japan, Eric took me to this little place. I want to say in Oimachi, actually.
Okay.
But it just, we went into some anonymous building. We went up to the 8th floor, and we get in. There's 2 Japanese guys and a fish tank behind them. Eric says some Japanese to the older guy. The older guy says something to the younger guy. The younger guy goes hi, pulls out like a fishing net, and just pulls a bunch of shit out of the tank, lops its head off, cuts it up right in front of us. Eric had not warned me about any of this.
By shit, he means assorted seafood.
I was mortified. I'm like, holy, I'm literally watching like the animal die in front of me, and then they put the sushi out. I take one bite. I'm like, oh, this was worth it.
There you go. There you go. I knew the places to go. The one place I refused to go to was the place where you get like a squid, and they just cut all the squid's like legs off, and they're still moving on like the plate in front of you, and they're like, look, it's fresh.
Nama on there.
I was like, I don't like looking at it. I don't want to stick that in my mouth.
You ever do the thing with like the full halibut, but they do the spinal cord in a way where it just kind of blinks at you a couple times when they put it out?
No, I thought you were going to say, have you ever eaten the butt of a halibut?
That's where your mind went first.
Not very clean.
Okay. That's how you thought I was going to zag.
You're a fish. You don't have arms. How do you wipe? You just kind of let it all hang out.
We ask the big questions on this podcast.
That's where my mind went. You're welcome.
Let me actually kind of circle back to the Chinatown thing real quick. That's I had forgotten that in my notes, but what's interesting about that is, this is a wrinkle and a detail that Oldboy and Chinatown both used to make the villainy more extreme. Because if you think about it, Noah Cross, if he's just a guy that murders his opposition and kind of bribes public officials, if he's just or like regular sort of financial grifter, he's a criminal. But the detail of him committing incest, impregnating his daughter, and then basically grabbing his daughter / granddaughter at the end of the movie, that's the thing that moves him from a criminal to a demon, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of Oldboy. It's sort of the same thing, it's. There's versions of this where in the rewrite from the source material, they could have been like, okay, it could have been a more violent or more just exaggerated in a single direction sort of thing that would have caused Lee Woo-jin to become sort of crazy and obsessed. But that's the Greek tragedy element of it coming up. Like that's the thing that somehow, despite not being violent, is, through society's perspective, even more crazy and sinful and insane. So that, just Chinatown, I completely forgot that, but that's an excellent comp there. Why don't we get into, let's kind of wind it down, get into like trivia like a little bit. I already did like my...
Let me add one thing too. I have to say this.
Sure.
And I wrote this down and it blew my mind. And again, I haven't seen this movie in years, but the foreshadowing killed me. Because there's that one scene where Odalsu shows up and he's at Mito's place. They've like tied her up. They've ripped her shirt open. Her breasts are exposed. One of the guys apparently had touched her breast. And Daisu sees the guy and he goes, "You touched her breast. I'll cut off your hand." And then as the guys walk away, the guy says, "Well, then what about my tongue?"
Oh shit!
I didn't catch that.
I was like, "Oh, fuck!"
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about watching it more than once.
The angler, my anglerfish screenplay. There's like 12 different things about stuff getting chewed up and eaten before we even get to like the last scene. It's just it's bullshit screenwriters like to do. Other trivia. Anyone have any bloopers?
Oh, Daisu. The beginning police station scene where he's drunk and spouting out that stuff, it was ad-libbed, but also at the end in the penthouse scene, a lot of that stuff was ad-libbed too, like the alma mater song he started singing of Oldboy, that was just ad-libbed.
I've read reviews of that speculate he was doing all 5 stages of grief in that scene. Anger, sadness, bargaining, acceptance.
And then
go ahead, Naveen. Go ahead.
Just another quick one. Where they were imprisoned, when he was in prison for that 15 years, he was in prison on the 7th and a half floor. which might be a nod to being John Malkovich, because that was also the 7th and a half floor.
What year was Malkovich like that?
Wasn't that like 99?
Yeah, 99.
Yeah.
Said that.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, the idea of like there being like a mystery floor kind of between floors. Yeah.
Right.
You know, I've never seen that movie.
Oh my God, Jesus, really?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Put it on the list of why haven't you seen this?
Yeah. That down.
It always
tell
seemed
friends
like
to watch
such an odd idea for a movie. It never
It's
really.
I mean, if it wasn't released in '99, it would have been the best movie that year. Like '99's fucking bananas for how much good shit came out.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. It is very weird and odd, but it was. I only was taught once, but I know I loved it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it very much.
Okay. I had mentioned it before, you know, I'd alluded to it, but he ended up having to eat several live octopuses, octopi.
Octos without a pod.
Yeah.
Yes. He had to eat several of
Be
them.
an eighth spinoff.
Which, I mean, I can't imagine eating one and having, you know, like I have this picture in my head of that tentacle that kind of goes up his face and kind of sticks to his face.
It was
and
a big first bite. It was a big first bite.
Yeah. And having to do that multiple times, like, I mean, that's just that's crazy. That's crazy to me. I can't imagine.
I want to add to that. So, apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but I read online that the actor that played Daisu is a Buddhist. And so before he bit into each of those octopuses, he actually prayed for them.
Good for him.
Yeah. I also, I know that when the director, so when this film won the Grand Prix at the Cannes Film Festival, the director, when he went up there, he actually thanked the octopuses for the sacrifice.
Did he name all 8 like individually? Like what's the?
Yeah, it was what Wiggles.
I mean, his his praying does not bring Tiny Two Bells back. That's all I got to say.
Well, that's a very non-Buddhist way of thinking about it, but sure.
It's true.
Sure. I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I feel like we have to watch the rest of the director's movies now so we can figure out where all the bells are placed. They must be in every single film.
Right.
The guy who kills himself in this one, he was
there's 3 different
first.
Yeah.
Woo Jin.
All the above.
Or like the one right.
The guy who jumped off the building with the dog.
Oh, yeah.
He also starred in the other, at least in the first revenge film of Park.
Oh, he was
familiar.
in for Mr. Vengeance.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was one of the main guys.
And even the actor that plays Daisu, he's in the 3rd one as well.
Lady Vengeance.
Sympathy for Lady Vengeance. I didn't realize that was the 3rd one in the film. I'll be honest, if you somewhat enjoyed this film, if you watch the next one, there's no incest and there's definitely vengeance. But it gives you the things you want and you feel like it's a pretty gratifying ending.
It gives you the things you want unless you want incest.
That's true. Yeah. If you were expecting incest, then maybe not.
Toby Keith's last number 1 before he passed.
That's why they gave you 2 in this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
He wanted to keep his average.
Referred to as
twincest.
What?
Thank you. There it is.
I loved your enthusiasm, Eric.
My wife.
Wait,
okay, just pause.
I feel like he's foreshadowing. In like 10 years, I'm gonna get a letter from John, and we're gonna be recording, and he's gonna be like, "Okay, can you read it to me?" And I'm like, "Twincest."
Okay.
And he's like, "Thank you very much."
Yeah. Andy, let us know when.
No, we're good. We're good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an average Tuesday in this.
All right. Yeah.
Well, I had a question about that because it was a revenge trilogy, but are they connected? Like
No.
in any way? It's just
automatically. So it's Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, Oldboy, Lady Vengeance, and then he kind of goes on to it's like his career, his movies and the genres he works in are like a little more varied. He does like Handmaiden, Decision to Leave, which is more kind of a Hong Kong, more kind of just sedate, noirish, more kind of like tense sort of emotional thriller. He did Thirst, which is in maybe the top 10 greatest horror films like ever made. Did like a huge variety of stuff. But he did, I think, his first big career thing was a film called JMZ, and then the Vengeance trilogy came out like sort of following that.
Has he ever had any movies that were big in the United States?
Was Parasite
his?
I don't.
No, that is Bong Joon-ho. That's a contemporary of his.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably just
Yeah.
Oldboy.
Yeah.
It's the only one I can think of that I know people have seen. Not a lot of people, but people have seen.
I mean, his stuff comes out, and they're usually kind of
no other choice. No Other Choice. That one was at the. It wasn't playing at all theaters, but that one came out just last year.
Yeah, it's about a guy losing his mind trying to find a new job, and I decided I was not quite good.
Yeah,
close to home.
You find out you can move up the rung if you take other people out that are above you.
Oh.
The number one letterbox review I saw for No Other Choice was, quote, "What 5 days on LinkedIn does to a motherfucker."
I'll say though, Decision to Leave. I saw that one on Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's really something.
It's very good.
All of his films are so remarkable. They have so much like variety and style, and this is a film I've seen 3 times. Last time was probably in the late 20s, and I still have every single frame burned into my brain.
Like Decision to Leave is like like textbook neo-noir.
Yeah.
Just the whole time you're like, what's going on? And it does something similar to what The Handmaiden does, where it's like halfway through, you're like, wait a minute. What I just watched is not what actually happened.
Yes. Does anybody have the trivia about the actress who played Mido, about her audition in the sushi?
No.
Papa,
Nope.
you have this one?
I do not.
Okay. I like this quite a bit. The actress came in for her audition, and she had like a big, like a beautiful Santoku, like kind of a classic style sushi knife. And you know, like the scene she was kind of auditioning was like in the restaurant, and she's working with the knife, and the director was like, "Oh, that's a beautiful knife. Do you own that? Did you bring that from home?" And she's like, "No, I was on my way here, and I thought maybe my audition would go better if I had a prop. So I stopped into a sushi restaurant right down the street. I talked to the chef, and he let me borrow his sushi knife for about an hour. So I'm going to return it to him after I'm done here." And apparently, like Park and the people he worked with, they swear this actually happened. They all looked at her and went, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He just stopped in and bought it. Like these are $1,000 knives sometimes. Like these are. She's like, "No, I just I popped in and I talked to the guy, and everybody apparently got up, went down the street to the sushi knife, talked to the owner of the place, and he was like, yeah, she seemed really kind of sweet, and just I trusted her. When she came in, she said she had this movie audition, so I decided to lend her the sushi knife." And Park has said it's this combination of she was so charming that in real life she could randomly get this guy to give her his knife for an hour, walking off the street, and the fact that she was so guileless, it didn't even occur to her that this would be like a weird fucking thing to do. He's like, that immediately she was Mido. That was just the thing that landed her apart.
She was excellent in this movie. Like, I will say she was super likable. Like, just everything about her was kind of interesting and compelling. And yeah, she was my favorite character in the whole movie by far. Low bar, but
I am shocked that
Eric is stunned by this.
I'm like, it must be a really like shitty backstreet sushi place or something like that. Because to get a sushi knife from a sushi chef, that's it's like giving up his right arm or something like that. Right. Like, there's no way he's gonna give that up. Just like, hey, you want to borrow my knife? This guy was just like looking for a quick score.
I think she was just that cute. She just had that vibe. A little more kind of trivia on Mido. Park has said in interviews this is a guy who was insanely smart. very, very thoughtful about like his movies. He has admitted that one of his low points of his career was he's like, I did not write the character of Mi-do particularly well. He has said that I think that she's sort of looking back, I'm proud of Oldboy, but I think I did not give her enough agency. I did not give her enough awareness. She's just kind of like a victim that sort of gets passed around the entire movie. Park promised to do this after making Oldboy and is actually committed to it. He has worked with the female screenwriter, I think maybe even the same one, for every single film he's done since then, which all have major women characters: Lady Vengeance, Thirst, The Handmaiden, and Decision to Leave. And having seen like all those movies, those are all films with fantastically well-written, convincing, fully autonomous, fully kind of just aware women characters. So he's just like, you know, this is one I kind of fucked up a little bit, but I committed to kind of being better about it, like after the fact.
I had that in my notes. I did mention it. Like, I'm like, why did she give it up so easy for a stranger? I know that she was hypnotized, but the fact that she brought him back to her place and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I led you on. You thought we were going to."
We were doing at one point. Yeah, this was too easy. I don't know.
Yeah, and then she's like, "You know what? Just force yourself on me later on, and I'll totally give it up." And I'm like, "Who says that? Yeah. Like, that's like male fantasy. That's not real."
Yeah. Her character was super weird.
Yeah, Park fully owed up to it though. He's just like, I'm not going to do a character like that in like my movies since then. Other trivia: the hallway fight, directly referenced in films like With the Raid Part 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. The montage that they have to No Diggity has 4 distinct Oldboy style hallway fights all happening at the same time. Deadpool and Wolverine literally has like an Oldboy inspired hallway fight happening in the last scene where Wolverine and Deadpool fight like the 100 Deadpool variants.
All the Deadpools, yeah. Good call.
Apparently, I've not seen this movie, but Kong Skull Island has an homage where Kong pulls a squid out of the ocean and eats it alive the exact same way.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, that happened. I remember that.
Any other trivia before we get to final closing thoughts?
Wasn't that hallway hammer scene one take as well, or something like that?
Yeah.
That I read.
Well, it was actually 17 different takes over 3 days, but it was edited together to look like one shot.
Really?
And at the end, when everybody looks, you know, all like exhausted and beat up, that's because effectively they were exhausted because they had been, you know, doing this same fight scene for 3 straight days, and it took its toll on them.
The amazing thing about this movie is people say like, oh, is especially kind of back in the day, you can tell them the craziest shit, some crazy shit that happens in the movie, and that's not even the craziest shit in the movie. You can be like, yeah, you got to watch this film because you won't believe the twist. And they're going to be like, oh, I heard about the single take hallway fight. That's not the twist. I heard about the guy eating the live octopus. That's not the twist. I heard about him just pulling a guy's teeth out with like the claws of hammer. That's definitely not the twist.
That's a great call.
Yeah.
I also saw you guys. I think Andy, you saw Snowpiercer, right?
Yeah.
I saw parallels between Snowpiercer and this film. Do you remember the scene where all the guys? It was like the one car that has all the guys with hammers.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's the Hammer Brothers.
Yeah.
And then all the lights shut off. I'm like, that's how you add it to the next level.
They've all got like the night vision goggles that they put on that they shut all the lights off.
Oh, so awesome! It kept
that's
flickering the lights on and off, and I'm just like, okay, that's how you take that and make that go extreme.
That's a Bong Joon-ho, but we could do like a combination.
Yeah.
Like
they were buddies. Both
like
directors are buddies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fair game. I also wanted to add too that in order for the actor that played Daisu to be able to perform he did most of his own stunts, but he actually trained a lot for this, and he lost 20 pounds for the film.
You can tell, like between the police station and then when he comes out the hotel, he's
exactly.
Final question before we get to our segment closing synopses in brief. Andy, buddy, still with us?
I'm glad we watched it.
Oh.
What episode are we on now? 80 something,
70,
70, whatever.
He looked away when he said that. I don't trust him.
I'm glad that we waited this long to watch it. If we had watched it early on, I don't know how I would have reacted to it. I think, you know, my mind has been opened a bit more to stuff that's way out of my comfort zone and way out of my wheelhouse.
Or you're just numb.
I mean, that could also be it. Life has a way of doing that.
I'm more interested in incest films now.
Yeah. I've watched
my letterbox reflects this.
I've watched more than in the last.
Tracks in the dam. Let's go.
I've watched more incest films in the last month than I probably ever have. So there's that.
What do you call it now? Thirst-cest? Sorry, that was a stretch.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, I listen.
Speaking of stretch,
I'm glad to say that I have seen it. I'm glad to say that I've seen it. I have no intentions of watching it again.
Interesting. Synopsis in brief. I want to start. Lee Woo-jin, when he first watches Oh Dae-soo cut his tongue off. This is one of my favorite quotes from my beloved Disney Plus cartoon Gravity Falls. Man, revenge is underrated. That felt great. Who else wants to go?
Synopsis in brief. Man gets locked in a room for 15 years and still has an even worse day when he gets out.
Yeah, not bad.
All right. I have two. I was inspired by Naveen to create a second one. So the one I originally came up with was Synopsis in brief. The best way to describe the movie to a friend. Do what? Come on, man. It's such a crazy film.
Yeah.
All right. The second one I had was for Naveen. Here's a callback. Synopsis in brief. The things I do for love.
Naveen, what do you got?
All right, synopsis in brief. Should have listened to Shaggy. Saw me getting naughty with my sister. It wasn't me. Then you spread the rumors. It wasn't me.
Synopsis in brief. Worst blind date ever.
Hey.
Ooh.
Synopsis in brief. All hail Hypnotoad. So I've said repeatedly on the podcast, you want to see the best joke ever written about a movie, you go on Letterboxd, you look at either the bottom of the first page or the top of the second page. This is credited to a Letterboxd user named John, sadly not me, but his review of Oldboy, quote, POV, you've just read the craziest am I the asshole Reddit post ever. Any other SIBs?
Nope.
I got one more.
All right.
Go for
Keep going. Keep going.
Synopsis in brief. Why can't I find a nice guy? just a big man, a real sweetheart, some guy that will look after me, somebody that just is a real caretaker.
We talking about Eugene Merman again? Yeah, we are. Love you.
Love you.
I'm your dad.
Hey, there was another Letterboxd review that was just that was just she bad. I kind of get it.
Oh God.
Yeah.
The fact Andy has not stood up and left the room shows how far he's fallen in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
He's still with us now, buddy.
Yeah, I mean that last review was.
That's why I saved these to the end.
Yeah. Yep. Makes sense.
Let's wrap it up. Next, thematic cycles, gentlemen. We are pretty much at the end of a set of thematic 4-film cycles, each picked by a host that we started back in September 2025, 16 years ago by my count. With Andy's pick, top of the queue. And we got one more movie. We got one more in the cycle. After this, we'll be doing like in a couple weeks. We now move on to an anticipation of somehow this podcast entering its 3rd fucking year. We now get to do our pitches and voting for our next cycle of films. Who would like to go first?
All right, I'll do it. I'll go.
Okay.
All right. First, I have two that I picked. The first one's no surprise because I brought it up in the chat. We've talked about this previously. I mentioned on a recent episode, I think we need a little more sci-fi. So I want to present Black Holes and Revelations, named by John, not myself.
Now, named by Muse, in all fairness.
Named by Muse, technically, yeah. But still, a great fucking callback for this cycle. I think we kind of discussed it being maybe like lesser known sci-fi movies. Although I think maybe to kind of open it up so we don't get stuck with a bunch of movies probably covered on MST3K. I think we could open it up to maybe it could be lesser known ones, maybe ones that you've seen previously that most of us have not seen. It could be modern, it could be older. I want this like hidden gems, especially if you know something or you find something in your research that like, man, this just a really great one. Not that many people have seen. It doesn't have to be something you've seen yourself. I mean, I don't want to knock it if somebody also wanted to pick like, say, Running Man or something like that.
Yeah. We're talking the original one. We're not talking that bullshit with Glenn Powell.
No.
Oh yeah.
The classic one with Arnie.
Yeah.
Give us some more Arnie love. The second one I came up with, I thought, why not? I think it's about time. I mean, I might be in the minority, but I call this cycle Dr. Yes, Please. I thought, why don't we cover 4 007 films? Each of us will be assigned one of the 4 major actors that played Bond. I'm going to leave out Tim Dalton because Timothy Dalton was only in like 2 of them. But I say we go with Connery.
So by that logic, are you leaving out George Lazenby?
He was in 1. I think he was just in one of them. So yeah, anybody that was. So it has to be actors that played him more than a couple times.
So I mean, but that so that's
Connery.
That's Connery, Moore,
Roger Moore,
and
Pierce Brosnan,
and
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I thought that'd be. I grew up. My parents, they would always put on like, I forget, was it like TNT or TBS? They would have these like 007 marathons.
Constantly be, yeah.
And mostly it was the Connery ones, but I mean they had a lot of Roger Moore ones on there too. And I would just watch those sometimes on like a Saturday or Sunday, and it's kind of chill. And I thought, why not bring it back?
Yeah. I like that a lot. That's a great idea. That's a great pitch. Black Holes and Revelations. I think it's just it's an idea that has my heart, but it's a much closer second than I thought it would be. But my vote is going to be for Black Holes.
I vote for 007. I do have a request though. If we end up doing that, you don't have to honor this, but my request is I would love to either get Connery or Roger Moore. Reason being because my father and I have watched every one of both of their movies. And I would like to ask my dad to pick my pick for that cycle out of those 2 actors, if we can do that.
Cool.
Would he come on the pod?
Oh boy, I don't think. I don't.
Right after we've done 2 incest episodes, that would be.
Be careful what you wish for, Naveen.
All I ask is that you pick one with Jaws in it.
I mean, that would be, yeah. Naveen, what's your pick?
What do you think?
The 007, the Dr. Yes, Please. Really good. Especially since you're like assigning us an actor kind of thing. So it's not like
we could do like a secret Satan kind of thing where we use the randomizer. Although we have to give Andy one of
I will do the nerd side of it. I will figure out something that's equitable for everybody.
I will happily take whatever I can get or whatever I end up getting because I love James Bond and I like all 4 of those actors and movies within their canons. So whatever.
I really thought Black Holes was going to be a shoo-in, but so for Eric's cycle, we were going to be doing Dr. Yes, Please. a
Nice.
survey of the 4 greatest James Bond actors.
Guess
I
how many
love it.
times you're going to be saying that phrase, Doctor? Yes, please.
That's a great
Many
that's a
times
great
as I'm
call.
hungry.
That's a great
Yeah.
call. I really like that a lot.
All right,
like that.
nice.
Okay, Johnny, do you want to go or do you want me to?
I can go.
Okay.
So the first pitch that I have, we've never done a full director's filmography before.
Mm.
So I wanted to pitch one of the. He's a little early in his career, but he only has 4 feature films. But these 4 films are just 4 absolute personal, maybe Johnny's bullshit Alzheimer's. This is called Eggers Banquet, and these are the 4 feature films of Roger Eggers. The first one being the Witch. Do you guys do you mind if I kind of run through like all films kind of real quickly for people not too familiar with them?
Do it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
This guy has 4 feature movies out, all bangers. His third one has been I've changed my letterbox ranking 3 times this year, alternating between his third film and Lost Boys as my #1 new movie of 2026. But the 4 feature films of Roger Eggers. First one, The Witch. 1630s New England, a devout Puritan family is torn apart by paranoia and religious hysteria after an unseen sinister force from the surrounding woods begins to prey upon them. The stars Anya Taylor-Joy and Galactus, and this is the most New England shit you've ever seen. Second movie, one we've actually covered on Cunny, but I would love to swing back to, The Lighthouse. 2 lighthouse keepers stationed on a remote, storm-swept island off the coast of Maine descend into a hallucinatory fever dream of mistrust and madness. This stars Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, and it's the most New England shit you've ever seen. 2022, the one I watched most recently, the one I lost my fucking mind over. The Northman. A Viking prince embarks on a brutal, single-minded quest for vengeance against the uncle who murdered his father and kidnapped his mother. This features the film return after 22 years of Bjork, basically dressed up as an Elden Ring boss. And finally, Eggers' final feature film, just about a year or so ago, Nosferatu. A young woman in 19th century Germany becomes the object of a terrifying obsession for an ancient Transylvanian vampire whose arrival brings a trail of plague and gothic horror. If you've seen any of these guys' fucking movies, you know how much he rules. You know how much all these things rule. Just yeah. Everything here is great. I would guess I'm the only person who's kind of run his like entire filmography at this point. He's a fucking master, and like the fact that there's 4 of these movies and there's 4 of us, I think it's just perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's your first one.
Yeah. Also, if you've ever sort of pictured what a mermaid vagina looks like, just bonus round.
That's the selling point.
Taco Tuesday.
Ooh. Who likes scallops?
Yeah. Second pitch, and this is
Scallops.
Whoa,
Scallops.
yeah. The number of times I heard that fucking conversation growing up, just in my own house. My second cycle, I am so proud of myself. I am so goddamn proud of myself for this title. This might be the best title I've come up. This might be. I mean, I just finished a screenplay. I'm more proud of this title than I think I collectively am. For like the whole screenplay that I went through 20 drafts. I was working on it for like 3 months. All my friends got together and performed it. I'm fucking prouder of this. The title of this cycle is better than any bullshit I've kind of done prior to this. This cycle is called Sometimes I Give Myself the Creeps, and they're horror movies inspired by Basket Case.
What the fuck?
Right? Andy took off his glasses. Eric is nodding. He has the kindest expression on his face.
Oh my God.
I give myself, specifically, this is I asked AI to come up with a list of contemporary movies to Basket Case and a list of movies that are more recent that are either directly inspired by or are in the spirit of Basket Case. It immediately came up with Deadstream, which I thought was very, very funny.
Very cool. I would say Toxic Avenger would probably be on there.
It also came up immediately with Street Trash, which Eric and I also covered on
Trash. Oh, yeah.
Real quick, 70s into 90s, Brain Damage, Society, The Baby, Street Trash, Castle Freak, and then 2000s to present, The Void.
The Void,
Deadstream, Excision, and something called The Greasy Strangler. I basically, in this, I'm looking for kind of creature features, low budget, nasty, weird, grimy. Just. Sometimes I give myself the creeps watching this thing. And
I just want to know: do you have a synopsis for The Greasy Strangler?
Depends if we cover it on the show.
I feel like it's what somebody calls himself after they jerk off after eating like really greasy pizza.
It's just too much loot, more than you really needed.
Like, oh man, why'd I get extra pepperoni? Well,
so I've got summaries for all of these. Okay, this is what it says for The Greasy Strangler. If you love the offbeat and gross elements of Case, this is likely your best bet. It is an aggressively weird, independent film that feels like a spiritual successor to Henenlotter's brand of uncomfortable comedy and practical gore.
Ooh.
All right,
okay. All right. I don't know what that means, but
the full list here is I've got things for all of them, but sometimes I give myself the creeps. Horror movies inspired by Basket Case or Eggers' Banquet, where we run full filmography of Robert Eggers. Guys, what do you think?
I hate
this one's easy for me. This one's very easy for me. Okay. I gave Basket Case 1/2 of a star for a reason. I have only seen one of Eggers' films, Nosferatu, and I fucking loved it.
All right.
And that is so not my shit. That movie is so not my shit. But I loved it. I would love to see the other three. Eggers for me, please.
Okay. Let's go. Let's give Eric a little more time. Naveen, how you feeling?
They both sound really interesting and cool. The Basket Case one would be more fun probably during the Halloween season, let's say. So I'm going to go Eggers season. Eggers,
but maybe like put a pin in Basket Case.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
So that's the winner. But Eric,
I probably would have gone with that choice because I like those trashy movies, and I just like watching Andy squirm. But I think I'm going to get that with Eggers anyways. So I was happy either way.
Yeah. There's some shit in the lighthouse, boy.
I'm just saying, 11, I need my Eggers. Sorry, that was a lame joke.
Okay, so my turn?
Yes.
Okay. So the first one is so random, unrelated offbeat picks. Ooh. Picks can be, but doesn't. So you don't have to pick a movie that you have seen, but what you do have to pick is a movie that the other three have not seen. So either you have seen it and the other three haven't, or none of the four of us have seen it.
Love it.
And I like the idea of this sort of like grab bag, we end up with a horror and a comedy and an action and a whatever rom-com for all I know, or some Johnny bullshit with 3 1980s, Rambo films or something. But
can I pick the sequel to We Are Little Zombies?
Oh boy,
no, We Are More Bullshit.
I sure hope not. I sure hope not.
Where is he going? Where's it going? It's not about the journey. It's about the destination.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's my first one. The second one is this is a Johnny name as well. Cannonized, weirdo canon film gems. So I actually would like to pitch this cycle as a 5-show cycle.
Ooh.
The first 4 are, we each pick a canon movie of our own. The 5th is a group watch of the wonderful Masters of the Universe.
Oh yes.
To close out the cycle. So just to give you guys, in case you're not familiar with the canon filmography, I'm just going to give you a few. These were Johnny sent me a bunch, and these were the ones that I thought were the funniest, or at least most interesting. 1985, Life Force. Toby Hooper of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre fame was given a massive budget to make a film about space vampires who invade London. I'm sold. 1984's Ninja 3, The Domination. And to be clear, I don't care if we pick sequels for this. We just have to pick the one that looks the most fun or whatever. So this is Ninja 3, The Domination, not just a martial arts film, but also a supernatural slasher dance aerobics ninja movie featuring a legendary scene involving V8 juice that has to be seen to be believed.
I'm sorry, Annie, small interjection. I've watched Ninja 3 with my little brother. It is better than it even sounds.
Okay. So that means it would have to be your choice, I assume, because the other three of us probably have not seen it. Oh, no, wait, that was the other one. Never mind.
Never mind. Psycho. This doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're right. Never mind. 1980s The Apple, set in the futuristic year, quote unquote, of 1994. This is a biblical rock opera about the music industry featuring a villain named Mr. Boogaloo and songs about, quote, standard brands. I don't know what that means, but I'm interested. Other notable films, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Over the Top, which is an arm wrestling movie with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's great. Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, inarguably the worst Superman movie. The Barbarians, which stars, if I'm not mistaken, twin bodybuilding brothers, and I guess you can take the rest from there. This one actually made me laugh out loud, so much so that I had to read it to my wife, who also laughed out loud. Hercules, starring Lou Ferrigno. It's a sword and sandal movie with a sci-fi twist. There are giant mechanical monsters, and Hercules literally throws a bear into outer space.
Cool.
So yeah, and then so many more. There's I mean this list is
any Leprechaun films on there?
They didn't do the Leprechaun shit.
I don't think so, no.
Did do.
Okay.
I was wondering,
like a little niche podcast favorite. Invasion USA was also.
Yep, that's right.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Oh,
wasn't there a couple others of Chuck Norris?
They also did Rad. And yeah, there's a ton of other movies on this list. I mean, literally any kind of movie you could possibly want to watch is probably on here.
Andy, let me tag that pitch. If we time this right, we can watch the original Cannon-produced Dolph Lundgren, Frank Langella, and Courtney Cox in her, I believe, her acting debut, Masters of the Universe, and then actually go to see the new movie in the theaters after that.
Which looks like it fucking rules.
It really does. I'm excited.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, those are my choices. You've got Cannonized and you've got So Random.
Right. I'm going to toss up my vote. Like I Cannonized is a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
All right.
Wonder, but Naveen, what were you going to go with?
Cannonized. Yeah, that just sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to be the winner. That's why I didn't try to pick a really good one to go against it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say no to He-Man.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so Oldboy, a movie I think is kind of like a masterpiece and incredibly compelling, and a film that I thought a ton about. I've had in my head a long time. Also a movie that if somebody says this thing is provocative, it's excessive, it's gross, or it's even vile, it's a film that I would also understand people kind of coming at from that perspective. The fact we're here, and like the fact that we all had just kind of nice or not so nice, but just kind of something to say, and the fact we all had kind of like a good conversation at the end of the day. I think that art is sometimes challenging, and sometimes art is challenging in a way that's not even like bullshit. Like art can sometimes kind of be challenging in a way that like, well, that was fucked up, but also let me think about it like a little bit.
And also for me to quote the Olsen twins.
Mm-hmm.
In a little video they made way back when about eating pizza and a lot of weird toppings.
Right.
Should we keep all this weird shit in there? Put it on the pizza.
Yeah.
Not meatloaf. Don't put meatloaf in there.
2 years, guys. We got through it. Park Chan-wook's Oldboy. Coming up next week, Andy, the winner of our 2026 Oscar pod, will be doing an episode about. So we're still pretty solid on They Live.
Yeah, I mean, I am. If you guys are down, let's go for the ride.
I am shocked and proud.
Shocked and proud.
I love this movie. I haven't seen it in a very long time, but I remember absolutely loving this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The tagline. Okay, so the tagline of Oldboy should have been "Love conquers all." Tagline of They Live should have been "Friendship is magic."
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Just put
Sure.
that out there. All right.
Sure.
Week after that, we're going to conclude our new to you neo-noir cycle with my pick, 1980 British gangster classic, The Long Good Friday, starring Bob Hoskins of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and apparently Helen Mirren. It's just one of these kind of just funny British things that is supposedly a Goodfellas level classic out there, but something I personally don't know about. I'm really excited to watch and talk about with you guys.
Cool.
So
I know nothing about it, so
Same.
Thanks.
Going in cold.
Here we go.
Yep.
Okay, Rebels Without a Pod, episode 89. Oh boy, we did it, folks.
Oh boy.
We did it.
Oh boy, we
boy.
did it.
Bells.
Was
Get
that
the
a
bells.
So,
I know you got them hanging there. Go
Yeah.
get them, Johnny. Hit the bells.
Hit the bells. Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
There we
Just keep them
go.
on your fridge, right?
Who's ringing the dinner bell?
Come and get them. What
Taco
sound do
Tuesday is
octopuses
served.
make? Split,
Yeah.
split, 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 split.
Peace.
Friends let friends watch Old Boy.